Magaluf is a tourist resort par excellence located on the island of Mallorca. It is a place where a local is most probably seen as an atypical foreigner. In these streets, the popular language is not the language of Cervantes, but the language of Shakespeare. However, this metamorphosis is not only cultural. There are other elements that awaken and exalt the libido of many and the rejection of a few. The town began to develop with the tourist boom of the 1960s and consolidated itself as the main holiday destination on the island, mainly at the request of young people from the United Kingdom who, from then until today, seek to have fun in a somewhat particular way, immersed in an intense loop of abundant spirits, cheerful substances, sun, beach, partying and, above all, lots of shared bedsheets. Night is always less strict than day. Those who pass through it will be subject to its good judgment. In Magaluf, the nightlife starts quite late, after midnight. The streets offer the sight of graceful silhouettes, but with particular behaviors. For some happy reason, they vastly outnumber their male counterparts. Entering nightclubs and discos is tantamount to finding that there is fierce competition for the attention of gentlemen. Perhaps those women who don't succeed singularly will up the ante by forming alliances. After all, there is strength in numbers, and if strength falters, chemistry provides palliative solutions to the problem. Excesses are what they are, but unlike other times or other geographies, they do not happen by chance, carelessness, or gradually. Quite the contrary, they happen in a premeditated and accelerated manner due to a desire to lull the senses as quickly as possible. Here and now, there is a modern atmosphere of the kind that the whole of the known West likes. Free love is offered without much subtlety or innuendo. We are not trying to appear saintly, let alone to be astonished by claiming that this is a contemporary thing. Spontaneous and uncompromising intimate relationships between people have existed since the beginning of time. The issue is not the ease with which libido is managed today. The real problem is when this supply is infinitely wider than the supply of personal relationships. It will be easier and even less risky to have a one-night stand than to have a coffee with a view to the eventual possibility of starting a relationship. There are more qualms and embarrassment in asking someone's full name than in taking off one's clothes. is not that they are now liberated and fly the flag of induced freedom. What is important and real is the freedom to make their own decisions. When people's free will is contaminated with pressure and propaganda behind every decision, we end up being puppets of third-party interests. To ensure that this is not interpreted in an ideological way, numbers and an economic perspective offer a more pragmatic and easy-to-interpret view. Although they try to convince us otherwise, we are facing a market of couples. There are more women than men looking for a serious relationship, and more men than women looking for pleasurable situations. If men find it easier to achieve their goal, it means that the supply increases and therefore the price goes down. If the end result is that the mission is easy, then the whole market is devalued. Everyday life, multicolored politics, the collapse of the traditional family as the structure of any society, and above all the lack of critical thinking, turned the very frequent into the normal. Just because something is commonplace does not mean that it is as it should be. Meanwhile, the night goes on. Behind every fleeting passion there are nightclubs, bars, hotels, legal merchants and their opposites who never stop billing. When the wrong thing makes huge profits, it is often a bit uncomfortable to deal with. The truth is that all these anti-values are the mainstay of the local offer, generating a reputation of lightness that extends to all aspects. Sadly, in a secondary and incidental way far removed from the above, the town is known for its beaches of crystal clear water and clean sands. In Taoism, there is a very popular phrase that goes like this: everything good has some bad in it, and everything bad has some good in it. My grandfather, far from any Chinese Taoist influence, was a very wise and kind-hearted man. He had a particular interpretation of the functionality of bad examples. When I was a very young boy, he used to tell me that such behaviors are the demonstration and confirmation of the paths not to take. When we talk about colonization, it can be political, military, cultural, economic, or, as in this case, other manifestations. For my part, it is time to face the usual opponent. In these parts, public transport is not usually the ally of late-night commuters. Taxis and private mobility services are expensive alternatives. But a generous breeze comes to our aid and promises to be the perfect companion for a taciturn walk. This is what you get for being a night owl. I tell you, you have to behave, and you have to go to bed early. We're running out of public transport. What can you do? As always, thank you very much for making it this far. I'll be seeing you very soon in a few days, in a new video. And behave yourself, because I know you will. Bye.